1-point game, final seconds. Bulls look for the win. DeRozan to win it. Good! DeMar DeRozan delivers!
Holy shit. Yes, I might get a copyright strike for that last clip, but whatever, it'll be well worth it because that was an insane buzzer beater. Yes, for those who don't know, most recent in-game footage is copyright protected. I know a lot of people ask me, how come you don't have highlight footage of the actual game you're talking about? Well, that's the reason why I don't. I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike and eventually have my channel banned. But anyway, man, oh man, how about that finish? Look, let's be clear. This wasn't a good game for the Bulls. Like any stretch of the imagination, this was not a good game. The Bulls were sloppy, lost on both ends of the floor. DeMar and Zach did not play well tonight. The team as a whole shot poorly. The ball movement wasn't there like we're used to seeing. And of course, they struggled against a bad team in the Pacers. Although I've said before, the Bulls do not match up well against the Pacers because of their length with Sabonis and Turner. But at the same time, the Pacers were also without Malcolm Brogdon and a few others. But hey, the Bulls were also without Lonzo and Caruso. But anyway, let's talk about this game. Now, on that final possession, I don't know about you guys, but I thought there was no way that that was the type of shot that DeMar was wanting to take. I know he didn't say that in his post-game interview with Adam Amin, but to me it looked like he didn't realize how much time was actually taken off the clock, realized he was way too deep from his normal range and hoisted it up, and thank God it was nothing but the bottom of the net. I thought for sure DeRozan was going to try and penetrate and find his spot on the mid-range, but I don't know, maybe he thought that he wouldn't be heavily guarded from the perimeter because, again, he's not a deadly three-point shooter, although this season he's been shooting the three ball the best that he has so far of this career, and maybe he thought he would get a better open look as a result. Who knows? But either way, DeMar comes through in the clutch again, and the Bulls walk away with yet another W. Their 6th straight win, and they improve to 23-10, and get this, they are now tied for first in the East. Who thought that we would be saying that by the end of December? Definitely not me, I'll admit that. Anyway, like I said, not the best game for the Bulls despite that incredible game winner. The Bulls came out looking a little slow, not engaged, little energy, which, yes, that bothers me. You guys know I'm all about maintaining energy and effort for the full 48 minutes, but at the same time, I get it. This is the Bulls' 4th game since Monday, and actually 5th game since Sunday, and they're playing tomorrow night in DC. Like, this is an insane stretch of schedule for the Bulls, not really just in terms of the overall difficulty. The teams that are playing are mostly below 500, but just the sheer number of games in a compressed time period. So I get it. The guys are probably incredibly tired with all the traveling and all the games, and of course you have guys coming in and out of the protocol, but I really thought that by the start of the 4th quarter, the Bulls aren't going to be able to finish with a win in this one. The Pacers had all the energy and the momentum on their side, and even when the Bulls did start picking up that energy, their shots simply were not falling down. They shot 40% from the field and 44% from 3. Your main scorers in Lavine, DeRozan, and Vucevic, they all really struggled tonight. Lavine shot 7 for 17, 0 for 3 from 3. DeRozan was 8 for 24 from the field. Vucevic 6 for 16. What was funny was that the only guy who actually shot the ball consistently well tonight for the whole team really was Coby White. Coby now with 2 back-to-back great games, which we haven't really seen from him so far this season when he's been available anyway. Coby was 7-11 from the field and was also just firing from deep, shooting 6 for 7 from 3, and he actually played solid defense yet again. Coby finished the game with 24 points, 4 assists, 3 steals, and only 1 turnover. As I mentioned, Lavine and DeRozan, not the best nights for them. They struggled shooting, they were turning the ball over a lot on some lazy possessions. Like, the Bulls as a whole took care of the ball well. They only had 9 turnovers the whole night, and Lavine and DeRozan combined for 7 of those 9 turnovers. That being said, though, DeRozan had a team high of plus 18 as he was being very impactful in getting to the foul line and also distributing the ball with his 6 assists, while Zach was actually a minus 8 and only scoring 17 points. Now, I know a few of you were saying in the live chat after the game, Zach looked a little annoyed after DeMar hit that shot, like his face wasn't too happy after the buzzer beater. I mean, I don't know about that. I'd have to go back and actually watch the footage again, but Lavine seems like the type of guy that wouldn't really care who takes the final shot as long as the Bulls keep winning. And even if Lavine was a little upset that he didn't get to take the last shot, I mean, he really shouldn't be. He was not playing well tonight. And sure, neither was DeRozan, but DeMar was at least being more impactful in the clutch while Lavine was missing shots and turning the ball over in the 4th. Like, DeMar was the right person to be taking the final shot. Not saying that he should be, and that should be the case all the time. Some nights Lavine is going to be feeling it more than DeMar and vice versa. But tonight, if you're going to choose between the two in terms of who should be taking the last shot, it's got to be DeMar. Vuce, another strong game for him, crashing the boards at least. He finished with 16 rebounds again, going against one of the better rebounders in the game in Domantas Sabonis, but his shooting was pretty subpar tonight. Only scoring 14 points on 6 for 16 shooting. Hopefully, like the rest of the guys, that was just an isolated game. As for the bench, it was good to see Derrick Jones Jr. get some more run tonight, as he really only played in garbage time in the last game for his first game after the injury anyway. He was playing with much more intensity and focus, and we're going to need his production off the bench in these upcoming games. And then how about Matt Thomas, who continues stroking it from 3? You know, he's really making the most of this opportunity with other guys being out of the lineup. Io wasn't as productive tonight on offense, but was very impactful on the defensive end, and it was no wonder that Fleming kept him in to close out the game. The guy even had the presence of mind to pull DeMar DeRozan away from the ref on that second to the last possession that could have resulted in a tee for the Bulls and an ejection for DeMar, since he already picked up a technical earlier in the game. Was also great to see. Also, for those who watched the Bulls broadcast tonight, you probably noticed Casey Johnson initially had to come in and call the play-by-play action on TV, which was interesting. It sounded like a 1960s radio announcer, with not only the quality because he was talking with a mask on, but also with just how he was recounting each and every play and form of ball movement, like we were listening to the game over a radio. But the reason for that was because Adam Amin had an inconclusive COVID test and had to potentially get put into the protocol as a result, but then ended up being cleared to come back and call the rest of the game. Anyway, it was funny. Casey's shout out for coming in the last second and doing the calls while we had to wait for Adam Amin to come back. And glad to hear that Adam is okay. Anyway, guys, the Bulls are right back at it tomorrow night. I hope you all have a very, very happy New Year's Eve. Please stay safe tonight. And as always, guys, be sure to subscribe if you're a Bulls fan, as I do post daily Bulls content. Thanks again for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one.